I just said the same things which you are going to say. So, Chair, I wanted to propose that perhaps we take comments that you have made on this and then do a written submission to the effect of the municipality, and then we spend more time on the water.
Okay.
Just my suggestion to the committee, because I see the same comments and I see the same adamants of Chair wanting to have this, meeting between them and the COG to make sure that this independence is stopped in anticipation of 2027. So that's on a lighter note, though, Chair. But I think it's the same. We are going to canvass the same issues. They can take the same comments, but we write a proper response. A proper recommendation on the written recommendation to the governor and to all municipalities. Then we just focus on water. I think there are more substantive issues on water.
Okay, I agree with you that most of the matters touch on independency, and the independence has been raised as a query actually. Non-compliance with the law on independence of the municipality. But in the pre-meeting, we agreed that we will have a comment on query number 1, inaccuracies in the financial statements. And I don't want us to read through the query. You have the query with you. We just need to know who was the accountant who processed these financial statements. No, I'm asking the auditor. You can verify that from their financial statements.
Thank you, Chair. The head of finance is CPA Karanja Peter Kariuki, ISPAC member number 33117. Thank you, Chair.
Can someone check? This was CPA Karanja Peter Kariuki. You are there. ISPAC number 33117. Membership status, you are active.
Yes.
And status, not in good standing.
Yes.
Why are you not in good standing?
Thank you, Chair, Your Excellency. The summon of this sitting coincided with my training, which has been approved by the board, so that I can get the remainder of the CPDs. Actually, as I'm living here, I'm also leaving to Mombasa for an ISPAC training for the entire of the week.
But you don't need to have ISPAC training to do some of the inaccuracies I'm saying here.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, very basic inaccuracies.
Yes.
So how are you intending to resolve these inaccuracies?
Thank you, Chair, Your Excellency. Some of the inaccuracies were brought about by the prior year comparative figures, which we are rectifying, and also we have sat with the auditor and we've given out what we have done so far to rectify some of those inaccuracies, and which we are going to restate in the subsequent financial year 2024-2025.
You see, have you read, are you conversant with the Accountant Act, Section 30?
Yes, Chair.
What does it say? It says that any misstatements and errors of this nature may constitute professional misconduct.
I concur, Chair.
Yeah, so it's not a laughing matter. So this committee has decided that moving forward, we will be reporting such cases to your professional body, and you know what it means.
Yes. Yes.
So next meeting of this nature, we don't want to see this. make sure there are no misstatements, there are no inaccuracies, there are no errors in your financial statements.
Well guided, Chair.
Yeah. Any other comments, members? Okay. So the other issues on independence applies, but maybe we can find out from Her Excellency the Governor about the independence of this municipality. What have you done so far?
Kind of similar to what we've done with the city. We've also transferred employees. We've given them a budget. We've delegated some functions, but I would wish, or rather would want our municipal manager of Naivasha to sort of address it, and maybe he can tell us what seems different or what is different.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Again, my name is Daniel Bogo Derito, Municipal Manager Naivasha, and we are happy to be in this committee. I think our case is pretty similar to the Nakuru City scenario. The main functions that are delegated are development control and solid waste management. We also are in charge of traffic and development and also advertisements. But on top of that, I think in the current a big number of projects in the wards which are now being implemented. Projects. I think that is the main area where municipality has been doing a lot, and also across other municipalities it is the same scenario. And basically we do have more staff. We started with only about 6 staff. Now I think we are close to 20 staff. So implying that with the human resource capacity, and now it is possible for the governor to download more functions, because the 3 key areas of urban areas is to have plans, which we have basically prepared, like the integrated urban development plans. We also have the spatial plans necessary, and also now the budgetary capacity. Thank you very much.
I wanted to hear about the transfer of assets, which is a query that has been raised. The transfer of motor vehicle, land, buildings, equipment, computers is still in the name of the county government.
Chair, we'll have the manager handle that as well.
Chair, I think that is also work in progress. We have attached a number of documents which including the variation of the assets, because previously we did not have the variation, and that generally across the county, which has been done through the assets departments, through the Department of Finance, and we do have an extract of that. But I can lie if I say that all the assets have been transferred to the municipality. The fact that it's a process, but we have our register, mainly the assets that we are working with. Yeah, the concept is that most of the assets that were owned by the defunct local authorities are destined to be back to the municipality. And that's why we also have attached a variation report here and an asset register, including all those assets. And I think in due course, this process will be complete. Yes.
The auditor has reported that the valuation report was not approved. So what's your comment on that?
Was it? Yeah.
So, sorry, Chair. Let us have, if you don't mind, the CEC for Finance would be better placed to answer that.
CEC Finance.
Thank you, Chair. The valuation for both the movable and fixed asset was being done through in conjunction with the counties and the devolution ministry and ITGRC.
So any comment from members? Bogwa?
Thank you, Chair. Just a clarification, Manager. By the time of audit, can you confirm that you are working with only 4 staff in your payroll?
Yeah, through Your Excellency, I think I cannot confirm and I cannot deny. What was happening is that these were the only staff that were directly in the payroll of the, in the payroll budget of the municipality. So implying that any other person that was in the municipality was on secondment, so that they were now appearing in the Department of Finance, but he's an accountant in the municipality. That is the process that has been fast-tracked. So now we have close to 20 staff, because those ones, most of them have now been transferred to the municipality, including our accountant here. He was in the Department of Finance. By right now, he has been transferred to the municipal board. So that was the scenario that led us to be having only 4 staff, because they were close to 10, but others now moved out. So we came down to 4, but the scenario was that those others were actually acting or seconded in the municipality. Thank you.
Any other question, Senator Eddy?
Chair, mine would just be a job of mine to this to the managers of these municipalities. Perhaps if I ask you, what has been your biggest challenge as a manager of Naivasha municipality in the last 1 year? You as a manager.
Well, we started
One
with,
challenge.
Yeah, we started with a few staff, and it's difficult to work without much a number of staff, especially the key staff. I could be very competent, but without HR, it was a bit challenging. I believe when we have good staff, even without a big budget, there are many things we can still do, which don't require a huge budget. But I think staffing was a challenge.
Yeah, I'm asking that because of what Senator Mbugua asked. Just say running your payroll has been the biggest challenge, so that the governor can see why we insist on payroll being run by you, because payroll is a functional element of how you run the budget. This budget doesn't just come. A budget is a translation of your functions combined with the HR, right? So when you can't predict when somebody will be seconded to you or not, and you've got only a payroll that is running 4 staff, you really can't work. Yeah? And I saw that because there is the same issues. There is no operational autonomy. There is functions given to you, but there's no operational autonomy and there's no fiduciary autonomy, financial autonomy. This is your biggest challenge. And Governor, I don't want to put the manager under duress, because I know that you understand what I'm talking about when I talk about these issues of autonomy. And by the way, Governor, us as a committee, we have been fighting for you at the same level that now these municipalities and cities are fighting. When we were in the meeting with the national government in finance and budget where I sit, when we asked them to allow for WSPs to get autonomy from water work agencies, you know what they were telling us? That you governors don't have capacity and engineers who can be able to run water functions in counties, despite the fact that it's fully devolved. So the same fight that you're fighting for you, now we want to fight between you and the municipalities. I mean, I think that then it becomes so unfair for us as senators to sit and watch. Apart from the conflict of interest of the chairperson, which is understandable, but the good thing...
You are out of order.
The good thing is I'm actually in order, because the good thing is that he himself last 2 weeks signed a conflict of interest bill, which will catch up with him when he goes to the county. He will not be able to effect these changes. So just make sure that you give these counties, these municipalities and cities autonomy, and then we will be able to move better. There's no two way around it. I think it will just serve you better. The same way we believe that devolution will serve the country better if all the functions that are devolved functions are given to you as governor, and not only that, all the subsequent finances that comes with them that are required under the law are also given to you. We believe you build the capacity, but they need to be given out to you first.
Yes, Senator Amida?
Yeah. Chair, just regarding the public properties, there's a lot of grabbing of public lands. Public land. So I was just asking, what safeguards have you put in place? Then also, how sure are we that the public properties don't end up in private hands as you're during that process? But then also to the governor, these assets, do you ever think that they'll be fully transferred to the municipalities? Those are my questions, Chair.
Chair, we'll start with the managers and then I'll do mine.
Yeah, I think the function of LAD is also important as in Naivasha as in any other areas. I think what the board is doing right now is to do an inventory of the public land that is existing. We did have the inventory that was created some times back, but right now we are trying to update. Otherwise, we are not fully doing exclusively outside the Department of Lands. We have the CC in charge of lands who is also helping us. But as we are at the stage in which we are, we do find that most of the land that is existing, if you look at Naivasha, most of the land that surrounds us is institutional land, like KWS, GK prisons, and so forth and so on. But we do have pockets of subdivided farms, which were big farms, and they did cede some land, or to some extent, it's not very clear. That's what we are doing, so that we can have that one and be able to have some land bank for the future. We are in the process. That's it.
Oh. Through the chair, Senator's question is really valid, especially a lot of our public land. I'm not sure if it's the same thing across the country in other counties, but for some reason, we have had to fight a lot to get public land back to us as a county, because people just grab land and make it private. I mean, we've even had cases where people have grabbed land from the police station. We've had cases where some of our religious institutions have grabbed public land. So it's a bit dicey sometimes. But what we have done, we've had some hospitals grabbed by individuals. So it's a continuing issue. It's a serious issue, but we are working very hard to push back and make sure that what belongs to the public comes back to the public. In fact, there are places you go, you want to put up a market, you want to put up a hospital, but the only public land that was in that area has since been grabbed, and actually buildings have come up and all that. So it's a big problem, but I hope eventually over time we work together with you as Senate to help us in this recovery, plus the other institutions, because it's not an isolated case and it's all over the county. As far as the transfer of assets back to the municipality, as the CEC had earlier said, we are working on that process of verifying this asset register. After that, doing valuation on these assets, and we will be transferring them to the municipalities or to those different municipalities. Actually, we have about 3 and a few upcoming. Yeah, so we are going to be doing that across the county.
Okay, honorable members, I think you have all the responses for every query. The issues in municipality are similar because of the issue of independence. So we will stop there on a matter of municipalities and cities. And the team that is coming in is from water companies. As they settle down, I will give you 3 minutes healthy break. Strictly 3 minutes. Yeah, see the one, it's a good team.